not to.
Hey, you guys, I'm on, right? Oh, wow. Hi, everybody. Oh, my goodness. It looks like, how we doing? Thank you for joining. It looks like I'm unprepared, right? But I'm here, okay? All right, hold on. Who's here first? Mish! Welcome, Mish! Hello! This goes so deep, Jen. They use models from Jeffrey Epstein's friend's agency. Yeah. You got it. That's right, Mish. How's it going? Thanks for joining. I know it's going to be a little heavy, right? Who's this? Biz Wolfer. Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming by, Biz Wolfer. Who's this? DK Me. Hey, DK Me, welcome. Oh, 420 Wall Dragon, you're here. Welcome. Mercedes, you're here. Welcome. Shalom to you. Hey, Sean. What's up, Sean? Jamie's here. Hello, Jamie. Molly's here. Hello, Molly. Welcome, Molly. How you doing? That's very refreshing here. Penny. Hello, Penny Lane. What's up, Penny? Tweet T. Witness here. Hello. Joseph's here. Wow. Sherry. Hey, Sherry. Ann. Hi, Ann. And then there's Donna. Atmosphere. Mother of Messages. I love that name. Hi, Mother of Messages. Welcome. Kathy. Oh, you saw. Yes. Negrita. She was being rude, right? But she has found other business, okay? So she has hopped down. Greetings, Flower Girl Apothecary Company. I love that name so much. Greetings. I know, they're so rude, right, Molly? Always walking and just no shame, right? Hey there, Wendy. I haven't seen you in a minute. Wow, let's give Wendy a nice welcome back, Wendy. As I say, was it something I said? Was it, Wendy? Let me know. Jack Knife, hello, Jack. Christine, good evening. Yes, Mish said. Jen looking into the Washingtons. Oh, the Wessington. Oh, thank you. I'm going to have to get the Washington family crest. I'm going to be using that. Yes, we're going to be talking about. Okay, look. I'm sorry, I got Christian in the background. Okay, Christian. Selling us out again. Screw you. Come out of the closet, Lindsey Graham. Come out. This is not me, everybody. This is Christian. I was listening to Christian. I told you, Christian Walker. I'm sorry. I have a little. Okay, it's my little. We know you. Wait a minute. Christian is. Maybe if you want to listen to some more Christian in a bit. Okay. Maybe we could listen to a little more of Christian's ranting, okay? He should have a spoon while he's ranting. But, you know, I was listening to some of the stuff that he was saying, and it was true, okay? Very true. And what are you going to do? He was telling the truth about a lot of stuff. It's just his delivery, maybe not for everyone, but I like it. I don't know. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I think Josephine, let me see. She's trying to disrupt. Hold on. Okay. We're just going to, I'm letting you know that I don't know if it's a full moon. The cat is acting cuckoo. Okay. What am I going to do? Put her in a box? So if you know, just forewarning. Okay. So I want to talk about something that is not very funny, of course. You know, before I ease into these things, I have to always work myself up to it because I don't know. I haven't been talking about some of this stuff since maybe 2020, 21. It's dark and not the most fun. So let's talk about some of this fashion and the push to destroy the innocence of children. I mean, I think we can all agree there's something really strange going on when it comes to children in our culture. Everyone has to have some like observance that things have turned a little weird. I guess people can live in a bubble and not be aware of a lot of this stuff, but the Balenciaga gate, as they're calling it, that seemed to wake a lot of people up. Would you agree? Because it's bringing names that are more mainstream. Kim Kardashian, then you have Ye, and many other celebrities and influencers. If you pay attention to some of those TikToks, I know TikTok is Chinese run and CCP. I get it. I get it. But too many people are on it. I started a TikTok. I don't think I have anything uploaded on it, but I've used it to get clips. It's great for that. If you're putting together content, you most certainly will do well to grab some clips off of TikTok. So it's a lot of good information being shared there. There's a lot of, you know, shenanigans, and you all know that there's a different TikTok that they show the Chinese citizens versus America. You know, we get it. There's good being done on the platform. So anyway, just not to, you know, belabor that. I get a lot of, you know, updates. People share the TikToks. So this Balenciaga gate, what's happening on TikTok and other spaces, people are just destroying their Balenciaga. They're burning it, they're cutting it, they're on camera just denouncing Balenciaga, public denouncing. And it's really powerful because you can tell that a lot of them are not truthers, as they call them, conspiracy theorists, whatever you want to say, QAnons and all of that stuff. So this is the regular person who maybe thought that people were making things up, lying and creating narratives back in probably I would say 2016. That's when the Pizza Gate started, right? Remember, if you look back retrospectively, Hillary Clinton running for president, it unearthed a lot of narratives. So many people began their researching of what's happening, there. Some of us, we have listened to similar people, right? We talk in the chatmosphere about some of the people we have grown up listening to who have red pilled us, as they call it. I mean, I'm just using the language, right? So if you were one of those people that listened to Art Bell, Coast to Coast, you knew about Bill Cooper, you listened to Todd. What's Todd's name, everybody? Super Sly just did a whole thing. He shared. Remember Super Sly? I love that brother. He was a guest. Remember a few months ago. Well, I've been catching like some of his content. He did something amazing where he had a download of Todd from the music industry. Remember, this was like, let's see if anybody puts it in. Todd. I just can't remember his name, but Todd was a very connected person and really deep family in, secret, whatever you want to call it. So he knew about the music industry from the inside, and he basically just exposed everything. And it's hours of just him sharing. I'm waiting to see if somebody knows his last name. Todd. John Todd. There you are. Thank you, T. Wooten. I knew. See, we're all like, we're like kindred. So John Todd. If anybody wants to look into something from an earlier time, I would say this would be the 80s. Am I correct, T. Witten? Where John Todd did these lectures, I would say, or maybe it was an interview. Good evening, Tina. Welcome. So John Todd was amazing. If you were listening back then to radio, you may have come across the John Todd recordings. Big Pontiac is in the chatmosphere. Greetings, Big Pontiac. Thank you for coming by, hanging out. There's the greeting I always look for. Greetings, powerful people. That's right. He speaks that life into us. He comes into the chatmosphere. Thank you, Big Pontiac. Greetings to you. Appreciate. Okay, so Big Pontiac is confirming the late 70s and early 80s. Okay, great. So John Todd, he really red-pilled people. And it was very uncomfortable truth to process. But if you have traveled this similar path of disclosure and you were willing to go down, as they say, rabbit holes, then you listen to similar people. So we have something in common. Some of us went down some deeper rabbit holes, like back then. Somebody may remember there was a radio show. If you're from Atlanta, like, the Atlanta area, when I was in high school in Atlanta, shout out to Southwest DeKalb. Yes, I went to Southwest DeKalb. So I would listen to radio. I was like in my room listening to radio. Radio was amazing. That's why I want to get back to my little radio station. I've been having problems, my technical problems. So just know I missed that. And I want to get back to it. I want to get some improved technology. Okay. So anyway, if you are of the Gen X generation, you may remember, especially if you grew up in Atlanta. So I was between Atlanta and Philadelphia. But I think this may have been syndicated, possibly, maybe not. But anyway, they were talking about one show that I was so glued. I remember you would lay on your floor So I'm laying on the floor listening to the radio, and I'm just laying next to the speaker, just listening. And they were talking about Paul McCartney. And there was a theory that Paul McCartney had died mysteriously very early in the Beatles' career. So they were talking about Paul McCartney being replaced. And it was really well done, like the show. And they were tying in the song I Am the Walrus. Who's a Beatles fan? I Am the Walrus. So they were playing the music, and then they were talking about how, I think it was backmasked, right? Do you all remember listening to radio when they would show how they would back mask or show the back masking? Am I saying it correct? Help me. But they would show that, okay, for anybody who's not aware of what I'm talking about, back then when we had recordings that were on records and cassettes, right? They would, especially recordings that were pressed onto vinyl, I think that's when they could do it, right? So they would do backmasking is when you have a message that it's backwards. So if you play it backwards, which I guess that would be like how you would run it back, and then it would say something. It would have a message. Some of the messages were goofy. Come on, tell the truth. Some of it was like, and you're like, yeah, no, I didn't hear that, dude. And they're like, did you hear it? He was saying something about Satan and da, da, da. You're like, no, I didn't hear that. Nope, I didn't. Right? But they would be like, yes, didn't you hear him say that? You're like, okay. So you kind of go along with it. It's kind of fun, right? It's just like, I guess some people are into genres. It's a genre. Like some people are into what? Comic books, right? So anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to beat around the bush because this topic is so doggone disturbing. Let's see. Dana's here. So Dana is always a plethora of information. I call her. She's the fact checker around here. Reverse speech. Okay, so it's something to it, right? And I don't know if they still impart this stuff in the music. I know they do other things because John Todd, he talked about how they prayed over the music before it was put on, I guess mass produced. I think he said, you could correct me, I'm just recalling, that they would have high witches, like witches and priestesses and priests of the whatever satanic order, and they would come into like the recording building. They'd have a room or whatever. They would go and do these ceremonies and rituals and pray over the masters. So they would put spells, is what John Todd said. Now, this is John Todd, who, like I told you, if you ever want to look into something that is really in depth, he would be a go-to. He would be a foundation. If you're just starting out I can't imagine somebody just starting out wanting to know like what's been going on. I can't imagine. It's just overwhelming. A lot of us have taken this knowledge in morsels, right? Haven't we? We haven't just like all at one time tried to eat a steak. We started out on the milk of it all, built ourselves up to now. It's still hard. It's still really hard to deal with this and come to terms that this is real. Because you can always like tell yourself, okay, it's too overwhelming, and you check out. You kind of check in and check out. They don't allow us to check out right now when it comes to the children. You can't be checked out. You really can't. I don't know how anyone could be checked out. This is real stuff now. They are unmasked with the agenda towards children. So we got to get together and We gotta know what's happening. We have to cry out to God. We're at that part of this. I don't know where some of you think we are, but I personally think we're at a very late stage in a lot of these things. Voting our way out of these problems, you tell me. What do you think? I just want to know what you think. I mean, this is just interactive. It's not just all what I think. I mean, are we going to vote our way out of these things? Tell me. Have you been thinking about some of this stuff? Hold on one minute. It's the cat. It's the cat. It's the cat. Okay, Josephine, listen. You're not going to run back and forth. You stay put. Stop acting cray-cray. Okay, thank you. Excuse me. All right, so where was I? Okay, so a lot of us, I was talking about listening to this radio show where they were talking about Paul McCartney being dead and some embedded messages in the song I Am the Walrus. So, I was grooving with it, listening to it. And I think they had a couple of parts to this radio, whatever. So I would always gravitate towards things like that. Were you the kind of person that gravitated? I like to go to lectures. Were you that kind? Just like always a nerd. So I would go to lectures and things like that. And some of the lectures were on deep subjects, like especially I went to the eschatology lectures. I told you all once about that, right? I was really into, what's his name? Late Great Planet Earth. No, not Paul. Is it Paul? Dave? This is bad. I've been so disconnected from it. Is he still around? Late Great Planet Earth? Let me know, Chatmosphere. This is a different kind of Chatmosphere. All I have to do is say something. You guys are on it. So, Late Great Planet Earth. Is he still with us? Let me know. I was really into his. Oh, Jay Blair. Hey, welcome, Jay Blair. Jay Blair. I can't always read Jay Blair's things out. I have to think about coding it because Jay drops, I told you. Okay, Jay is saying September 11th, 1966. Masonic Lodge took over the Beatles brand. Is owned by Disney Corp. Oh, really? The whole Disney thing. That's, Girl Code is dealing with some Disney stuff if you all are keeping up. Because, Anna's saying, Good Lion TV, Nick Avalere has a film called The Fall of Paul. I like Nick. You know what? I just reconnected with Nick. I think I'm following him on Instagram. Shout out to Paul Romano, another Paul. But Nick, I used to follow him when he was on YouTube. Do you all remember when Nick had a YouTube channel? I don't know if he still does. A lot of people, have moved to alternative places. I know I don't want to bring up everything about what Nick has gone through. Maybe one day we can review that. But Nick has been through some things. I really enjoy his content, really well put together, documentaries, just good music and all that. So maybe I'll reconnect and see what Nick is up to. But I think I might have tagged him recently on Instagram, and we kind of like had a little, greeting or something. But I know if anybody wants to look into Nick Avalere, good stuff right there. Good Lion. Yeah, love it. Let's see what else. Somebody was going to tell me Late Great Planet Earth. Nobody. Hal Lindsey. I knew you guys would catch me up. Yes, Hal Lindsey. Oh, Molly, thank you. No, MSN, just Professor Jen. Thank you, Molly, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. So Hal Lindsey, yes. How many Hal Lindsey fans we have out there? Hey, Desi De La Fay. I like that name. Hey, I saw you on Archaics. Oh, welcome. Let's give Desi some love and welcome Desi. Thank you. Yes, on Archaics. That was a fun time. I've been out of the loop. I'm so glad when you all connect with us, the Archaics people. Let's see. So just talking about how we've all pretty much had the similar paths. Okay, some of us we veered into some of the occult, like Jordan. Is it Jordan Maxwell? Didn't he get kind of more occultic? So I got a little, well, not a little. I got sidetracked a lot. I'll go this way to the left. I went to the left a little too much. My curiosity is, oh, Hal died. Okay. That shows how much I'm not a part of that anymore. So Hal Lindsey died, but you used to listen to him. I'm not surprised, Tina. We have similar backgrounds. Yeah, so I've always been interested in the more eschatology, end times parts of the Bible. It always interests me. I was all about the book of Revelation, of course, because of Hal Lindsey. That gets you interested in the pin the tail on the Antichrist, right? We went all through that the other day of every Antichrist you thought was going to be the Antichrist, right? So somebody would always say pin the tail on the Antichrist. And what else? We kind of went through that. Then we went through the rapture. So I bet a lot of you got caught up in the rapture whole, like the year 2000. I think that started the whole like, oh, it's going to happen any day. And so the rapture was hot and those guys made a ton of money. Jerry, what is it, LaHaye, him and his sidekick, they cleaned up. That was really good, LaHaye. I see you, Tim LaHaye. Yeah, you guys got a big bag on the rapture. A lot of people got some good bags on the rapture, wouldn't you say? What are they talking about now? Does anybody hang out in churches anymore? Because I used to, but I don't know what's going on in the church culture anymore. I'm way disconnected. Are they still talking about, I'll fly away? Yep, any minute, we're just going to fly away, right? In the twinkling of an eye, they tell us. They had us thinking what is it? What's the word that we use? What's the word? The big word they would always tell. You're disconnected too, Christine. Yeah. I don't know what they're talking about at church. What are they talking about? Getting boosters? Having abortions, apparently. Here in Georgia, yeah, we put people in office that are pastors that support abortions. So we're really in a part of this clown world that is, it's unbelievable. I don't know what else to say. We're really there, everybody, okay? If you were wondering, where are we? We're here. We're there. Everything that they said, it's just not happening the way we thought it would happen. However, I know it's taking me a while to get to the other subject, but just give me a minute. Okay. I heard recently that over in Israel, don't come after me, Greenblatt. Listen, Greenblatt, stay away from me. Stay far away from me, Greenblatt. Okay? So anyway, I heard that they have named the Messiah. Is that true? Over in Israel, they've named a Messiah recently, like last week or something. Let me know, because I'm, like I said, I'm not really keeping up with a lot. And I heard someone mention the red heifer. The red heifer, finally. I was waiting for this red heifer, like, how long for the red heifer, the perfect red heifer to be bred. And, you know, no blemishes, perfect red heifer. You have to have a red heifer, and you have to have the utensils in the temple, right? All the utensils and everything has to be made. And we were told that the plans, all the blueprints were made, right? All they had to do was just get rid of the mosque. And it never dawned on me that, okay, you got a mosque up there. How are you going to get that mosque off of the place where you're telling me you're building Solomon's third temple on the same place where they have a mosque? How is that going to work out? Did anybody ever wonder about that? Because I just sat back one day and I was like, why did I never like ask that question? How, like, basically, in order to get a mosque off of a mountain in Jerusalem, that means you're basically going for war, like a war that is the mother of all wars, the Moab. So how are we going to get the mosque to move out? What you going to do? Like what? So anyway, I never thought about how logistically I didn't think it through, but I was all into it. Oh, the utensils are done. And I was talking about this stuff all the time. I know my friends were like, okay, yeah. But it was my thing, right? And when you're in church talking about this stuff, you know, your pastor's like, yeah, whatever. So you always find your nerdy Christian Bible friend, and you're the ones like talking about all this stuff together, having Bible studies. I was that nerdy Christian. So anyway, I've been really disappointed. Church hurt. I'm very church hurt, everybody. I've told you, I'm not bitter, okay? I'm just saying I'm church hurt. I am. I'm really let down. I'm just going to be honest. I'm very church hurt. And I feel betrayed by the shepherds. I feel like the shepherds have been wolves. They've just opened the gate and just let the wolves come in and devour us. So I'm church hurt. And because I bought into so many things, and I'm not going to get into it now, but it's really thrown me, like when the Kyrie Irving, Kanye stuff started, I was triggered in a certain way about it. You probably already could figure out because of my background that I'll be triggered. I don't know what to make of it because it a lot of it I told you it I feel like I'm looking at WWF, like wrestling matches. It doesn't seem real, and it like, I don't know, it's so like the reality and a parody and comedy, tragedy. It's like it's just all at one time. And I don't know what to make of some of it. Like, are they just playing is this like a Masonic play that they're playing out? Like, is this some lodge business going on in front of us? They're just on stage and we don't realize it's all staged. I don't know. But it feels weird. But nonetheless, what was happening, I can see now that they do stuff to traumatize the people, right? Don't you see it now? Especially now, okay, I do play the race card sometimes if you want to say that. But we talk race around here. If you're new, we talk race, we don't care. We don't get triggered. But okay, you may have noticed that They really put an extra effort, you know, a little extra spin on the trauma thing to the Black people. Have you noticed that? Like it's like the traumas that are the public consumption of trauma, it really does sell to the Black community. And if you think about like the various people that have been the faces of these traumas, it's like it really sells more when it's a Black person. Like, you know, the George Floyd, in other words. I'm just going to ask you guys, could we have had a white version of George Floyd where they could really monetize it and make it go viral worldwide? Is there like a white dude that could, a Brad that could have taken the world stage like in the way that they did this George Floyd thing? Like, I'm just saying. I'm asking, just asking. I mean, JFK. That was the last probably major trauma event. Yeah, Rodney King. 2020, if you think about it, I've talked to Girl Code about it. I don't care. I'm just going to say it. I kind of feel like the whole COVID pandemic was like it was kicked off with the Kobe Bryant helicopter thing. Like I'm telling you, when I can remember hearing when Kobe died, and I know some of you are going to be in the chatmosphere saying, no, he didn't die. He's still alive. That's okay. Go ahead. Put it in the chatmosphere if you think Kobe's still alive. I like to entertain any thoughts. But Kobe's death was like the I don't know. You all, you know, you talk about like big rituals and you have to generate lots of energy. It was like Kobe's death like gave all this energy to like usher in 2020 and everything that was going to happen. You know, if you think about it, I remember talking to people, especially like guys, they were grieving deeply over COVID, and it didn't matter what race. Men were grieving Kobe, right? Do you remember? I felt the grieving. So it was a big one. And so you had Kobe, then you had, you know, it's like I could go back, you know, it's just a lot. You have this current thing going on with Shaquella Robinson, that was beaten and deleted down in Cabo in Mexico. So her death currently is just people are so hurt. They're very hurt. It is traumatizing. And again, I've noticed it doesn't matter the race. Shanquella's death has really affected all races of people, all ages, and doesn't matter whatever political leanings. It's been a trauma. And, you know, it's a weird trauma. We've had like some of the other like girls that have disappeared. But I'm saying like, I don't know, it's just something about I'm going into is too long. We could do this another time, but anyway, I want to talk about what is happening right now with children. And why is it that we didn't respond in enough time? We are not responding as strong as we need to for the children. I am happy to see people that weren't in this kind of research, they are stepping up to the occasion. Have you noticed? I have to really hand it to a lot of content creators. They have handled this Balenciaga gate very well researched content from all different areas. The algorithms are even favoring if you watch one. Have you noticed that? Or is it just like I've been noticing this? That I'm coming across a lot, and they're young people, you know, they are doing good research and putting together good content, well thought out, and it's hard to deny. You can't say, oh, that's tinfoil, that's QAnon stuff, Pizzagate, it's not real. It's hard to gaslight the people now, because we are now at a point where they've said that we would become the new journalists. We would become citizen journalists. And I know we don't like the word citizen, but we're going to deal with a lot of these words together as well. I'll talk about that later. So we're at a point now where your cousins might be thinking, darn it, she's maybe telling the truth about this stuff. Maybe that stuff was true. They may not want to admit it to you, and that's not even the point. That people that called you crazy, whatever, now, as they say, Ye has broken through the Overton window. Who knows about the Overton window? Ye has broken it. And I've even noticed the fifth wall of whatever reality television that has broken. Lots of things have broken down. Let me look up the Overton window before I go on to talk about Celine Dion. Fashion that's geared for children. And I'm going to deal with another episode of this as well. So I'm going to look up the Overton window. What is up with that? Does anybody understand that term? Because it's been used a lot when you think about, like, what is Kanye doing? And, you know, it changes from moment to moment. I mean, I told you all in the beginning, I was like, Kanye, me and Kanye, it's kind of like, it's complicated, right? Me and Ye is complicated, okay? I just feel like he's the cousin, you know, he's the cousin. I'm that cousin, you know, that they call crazy. So now I see people taking back all of this stuff they've said about him. A lot of people. I know a lot of people are still saying, you know, they want him on medicines. I know I've seen it in the chat atmosphere, like, he needs to be on medicine. He needs to be on stronger medicine. And some people believe in that medicine thing. But a lot of people are saying, you know, I might have been wrong about him. And calling somebody crazy, as Dave Chappelle says, calling someone crazy is dismissive. And he wanted us to know that we should ask, what is making them act crazy? That should be the question. And I agree. Because, you know, he said, people are strong, but they're going through a whole lot. Okay, so the Overton window is when the unthinkable, you know, the unthinkable, that we could talk about this another time. Maybe I'll do an Overton window kind of thing. But it's when the unthinkable, the radical, acceptable, sensible, popular, and then policy. That was like a diagram. And not to get too deep into it, is when public opinion, I guess it shifts radically, because you have a disruptor that enters the chat and says what you're not supposed to say, right? When it's black people, it's a gang. When it's Italians, it's a mob. And when it's other people, it's a coincidence, right? What else about the Overton window? What are you all saying about it? Hey, Alan. Alan's here. Welcome, Alan. Self-realization changes your life. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Hey, Ann, what are you saying? We're going to get into this Celine Dion thing. My friend's nephew worked at Celine Dion's estate. Oh, she lived on Jupiter Island. Masonic floors, weird stuff in the house. I can only imagine how weird that must be. Jenny's here, another Jenny. Jenny, Okie girl, what's up? No such thing as the mob. That's right. It's just a coincidence. It's just our little thing, right? It's our Costa Nostra. It's not a mob. We're just doing some Bible studies. We get together and do Bible studies. It's our little thing. So anyway, let's see. All right, let's get into the thing. Let me not put it off anymore. Okay, I won't keep it on because I need to pay attention to the chat because sometimes I go into like a thing and I'm not reading because I've been really like, okay, it hasn't been like, oh, I didn't do it on purpose. When I had you guys watching the goofy girl in Ukraine dancing, I didn't realize you guys were like, take this off. And then when I had Kim Kardashian and her GIMP stuff, I didn't realize I just went talking, and I had that on the thing too long. It was just not fair to you. So I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh, wait, Jenny says sarcasm. She's Sicilian. Oh, I see. I get it now. Nice. I don't even know sarcasm anymore, Jenny. I don't know parody, sarcasm, irony. I don't know. All the lines have just blurred, okay? It's like spaghetti right now. So I just have to work on identifying irony, sarcasm. What else? Parody, right? And comedy, tragedy, just all. Okay, so, all right, let me stop it. Okay, this right here. Celine Dion is in the news cycle right now. She popped up out of nowhere. I don't know where she's been. You guys could put it in the chatmosphere. Where has Celine Dion been all this time? Because I haven't heard a peep out of her, but all of a sudden, here she is in the news cycle. Right? Or has she been around the news cycles? Last I checked, she was looking like this on the screen. Very gaunt. I think in 2020 or maybe 2019, this picture here, she was walking around looking this gaunt. Even me, like I've told you guys, I have to watch it because I can lose weight quickly because I'm doing this intermittent fasting as my life. It's my lifestyle now. And I got to watch it. One of my friends, I told you, she tells me when I get too thin. And you know, when you're a little bit older, you got to watch that neck area. I mean, look at Celine's neck area. What the hell? This is not what happens normally. Celine Dion is in her, 40s? She should not be looking like this ordinarily. Now, this could be like an illness that she hadn't mentioned, but it's very, it's interesting. For those that have looked into Celine Dion, back in 2020, we hadn't heard from her, but then now she's in the cycle. And I watched the video that she was talking to somebody. Who was it she just did an interview with? And it was very weird, the interview. She was on the video, you know, it was live streamed into whatever studio, and her background was real spooky. It was like really dark, and it looked like, it looked really weird. And she was talking about her health challenges she's having right now. And she was talking about how she missed everybody, and it was really emotional, very, very emotional. And I noticed the video, it was glitching. It was glitching like I glitch over here with StreamYard. It looked like StreamYard, like, sorry StreamYard, but this is true. You have glitchy stuff until I find something better. But it was like, dark, and it was glitchy. And then when it went to the woman who was doing the interview, her thing looked like 5D clarity, like real, like beautiful, everything crisp. But you just played a video of Celine Dion in a spooky, looked like a Halloween mansion, dark and glitchy. Did anybody see that? It was really strange. Because, I don't know, because I do live streams, I look at things like that, especially if it's a professional mainstream production. I'm kind of like, you guys are doing much better than us over here on StreamYard, okay? Doing struggle streams, okay? So weird. And I was thinking, I said, you know what? I know Paul Romano is going to be all over this. I know he will. And he delivered just like I expected. If anybody likes Paul Romano, I love Paul Romano. And, he came up with the ghouls, Insta-ghoul, and all the ghoulish everything. It is the most perfect description. This is ghoul stuff. This is ghoulish. These people are ghouls. Thank you, Paul, for helping us to put a word that fits. This is ghoul time. They're on demon time and ghoul time. Yeah, apocalypse. Jenny knows. He always delivers, right? When I watched that Celine thing, I said, "Oh, Paul is going to have a field day with this one." Because if I'm noticing the absurdity of this interview, I know Paul is going to be all over this, and he was. Now, Paul, I want to shout out Paul, because this is why I wanted to go back and circle back to Celine Dion, is because, okay, right now, she is engendering a lot of sympathy, because, that's the thing now. When you have an illness, you go and do a whole production and tell everybody. It would have been okay for her to, I don't know, like, she was quiet for 2 years. Why have this big interview? And what Paul noticed about it, it was really strange, because it was all this like, "Oh, I miss you. I love you. I've missed you." And it's like, lady, give it up. Like, you weren't thinking about us. You've been doing you for 3 years. Don't come over here now. We have been doing fine without you, Celine. But now here you come. Now we got to look at you and your ghoul clothes. So this is what happens. The ghouls come back and the spotlight comes back, because we're not going to get distracted on some manipulation of our emotions, right? A lot of us aren't falling for that, especially from celebrities. They're not going to just come over here and get us up in our fifis because you want to tell us about all of your business that you have been keeping to yourself. But that's the weird absurdity about our times. In 2020, everybody was all up in your business about if you wanted to take a jab and boosters and put a mask on. They were all in your business, and everybody threw HIPAA out of the damn door. What happened to HIPAA? Oh, it didn't matter anymore. You could get all up in somebody's business, in their personal health business. They didn't know if you were dealing with some concomitant diseases. People could have had all kinds of things going on. Nobody cared to ask you. It was just take this jab and do the boosters, or you're going to kill grandma. You're selfish. right? So now the weird thing about health and talking about health is like, oh, we got to keep like, oh, they just died suddenly. Don't ask any questions, keep moving. Don't ask anything. It's just mysterious, sudden. They just dropped, and you mind your business. Isn't that like the relationship that a person who has begun to wake up to it? This is the most abusive relationship. If you've ever been in an abusive relationship, and I know it's all the rage to talk about a narcissist. They got whole channels devoted to narcissists and how to deal with a narcissist. I know how to deal with a narcissist, okay? I got something for you narcissists. But it's just, at this point, it's an abusive relationship with, that's why like it's hard for me to reconnect with a lot of people I used to deal with. I'm like, I thought like I'm pretty messed up because I don't even miss a lot of people that I don't deal with anymore. I don't even miss them. I had to like have somebody tell me like, you might want to reconnect with people, you know. And I tried to reconnect with a few people. I made some peace with some people. I'll tell you guys about that. But I don't know. I changed, you know, and I want God to work on my heart, in other words. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't miss people that, especially if they showed me that they're on the side that's antichrist. If they showed me that they're anti what God is about, therefore killing babies in the womb, like just they don't care. They call it healthcare, a choice. They don't know any better. Do they know better? I'm wondering, do you know better? I get that we fell for the okie doke, but now it's like we got science and truth that's come out. I don't know how you can still be for this. I don't know. But you're showing me that you don't like me because I'm not scared of a disease that you have to take a test to find out if you have it. And they say it's 99% recovery. But you're mad at me because I'm trying to tell you that you shouldn't be afraid. I'm trying to tell you that you got a t-shirt. You got a t-shirt on saying, Jesus is king. I go to whatever Baptist, Schmaptist Church of the Living First Epistle of the whatever. You are wearing all of this like crosses and religious regalia, but you got 50 masks on and you're sitting in church. Your church closed down. Oh yeah, I'm church hurt. I am church hurt. I was like, are you kidding me? This is the time where the prisons should have been busting at the seams with Christians that were like, oh, no, hell to the no. We're going to church. You're not going to tell us to close the doors. This is when people need us the most. But no, y'all had church out in the parking lot with 50 masks on. Oh, I'm mad at y'all, church people, especially if you're a pastor. Y'all are in trouble. If y'all don't repent, y'all must have never believed in God to close your church doors. And you read about Paul. Paul was on the island of Patmos and he was locked up. And what happened? He got out of the jails every time. So y'all couldn't have gone to jail to keep your church doors open? It's only like one or two pastors. One of those dudes up in Canada, remember that dude? He went to jail. He was like 10 toes down for Jesus. Y'all other ones, cowards, and you're in trouble. You have opened the doors and let the wolves in, especially about these children. I'm putting it right on the steps of the church here in America. You bunch of cowards. I can't even imagine what you're talking about every Sunday with the world going, as the days of Noah. Where is your presence? Oh, you're just running around. They say they're going to be marrying and drinking and going to Cabo, taking selfies every 5 minutes. A selfie? Y'all are still doing effing selfies? What the hell? This is the retardation. This is the effing zombie apocalypse. This is the zombie apocalypse. When you could go out in public and everybody looks like a dummy. A freaking dummy. I went taking, advocating taking, someone to their cancer appointments and everything. It's an old woman sitting outside the doctor's office, outside. I said outside. Beautiful sunny day with a mask on. She got a cane. She's obese. A mask on. A mask and a wig. Yes, I said it, a mask and a wig. And when I see that kind of stuff, I'm not trying to be shady. I feel so uncomfortable. It feels like such a burden. You got a mask and a heavy wig, and you're heavy yourself. I just look at the people and I want to say something. I want to say something, but I stopped saying anything. I used to say like something, if I could do it in a gentle way, like remind them, because these are people that claim to love Jesus Christ, to know him. And I'm like, this would have been the most awesome time to show me how much you love Jesus Christ, how much you believe in him. You're willing to risk stuff. Oh, no. We got to follow what they say. Put on 2 masks. You're outside. I had to tell a man, I remember back in 2020, he was a grandfather. He had gray hair. That's supposed to mean you have wisdom. He had children with him. I assume his grandchildren, but I don't know. You guys, those might have been his children. That's why I shut my mouth, because you open your mouth, you put your foot in it. So these could have been his children, but I thought they were grandchildren. So, because you men don't want to settle down until you're older. But look, we're not going to start that, okay? But anyway, he had the young children with him. And in the market, they got masks on. Babies, it was a few different ages. You guys, they were outside. Yeah, it was outside. It was like in the parking lot, I think. And I'm looking at this, and we're walking in, and I'm looking at these babies in these masks. I had to say something. I had to. I mind my business sometimes, but I just couldn't do it. It's because the kids, that has gotten me really, like, I've shown some restraint though, but it's the children, watching them masked up like toddlers. And I just told one, man, I was like, it's a beautiful day. God made this beautiful, air for us to breathe. And, you all should just breathe it in. It's good for you. I don't know. I said something like that. And you know what? They took their masks off. And it was almost as if they needed permission to know that not everybody's scared. Not everybody's scared to breathe the air. And this is the Bible Belt. This is supposed to be where Christianity is the strongest. But I don't know, everyone. You guys have to help me understand this. So we have Celine Dion. Now, it has been said, and I'm not going to look into it, you all can just tell me if it's true, that her husband, her late husband, he married her and she was very young. There was a big age difference there. So she's from the French part of Canada stand, right? She's from Quebec, Montreal, I believe. So her husband, she was from a big family, family, lots of children. I don't know where she fell in the children thing, but this man takes her, marries her, and she has talent. Now, she does have a beautiful voice, and she did really well for herself when she had her fame and everything. Now we're looking at post-fame. For a lot of people, fame is not what it used to be, obviously. She was 14. Anne is saying she was 14. How old was he? Wow. Hey, looking. Yes, and gamble on my table with her money while she performed. Oh, you went to her residency. I know she had a Las Vegas residency, but yeah, I don't know what age her husband was, but we already know 14. He had to be an adult to marry her. 14, if that's how old she was, that is problematic. So there's something going on, and we have already gone down the rabbit holes to know that families will sell their children. That is not a far-fetched thing, okay? We've already seen it with Kim Kardashian, who she factors into this children's fashion. How, convenient. We got Kim Kardashian with the Balenciaga gate. And, she's in a GIMP thing, has her child in a GIMP mask at Paris Fashion Week. Her mother, now we find out her mother was behind the sex tape. Her mother's watching as a producer, kind of like deciding which scenes are better. Oh, we need to reshoot this, so come back to the bedroom, Kim. I mean, this stuff, we've run out of conspiracy theories, right? We don't have any more conspiracy theories. If you have any, please share them, because we're all out. We're out of conspiracy. You can't even call us a conspiracy theorist anymore. We don't have any new ones. We're circling back to say, we told you. We told you about these weirdos, these ghouls. We told you they were after the children. We were screaming, save the children, and you guys were mad at us. Freaking mad at us, like we were making this stuff up. Like we would just want to do that. So now you got to go through the oh my God, sorry that it's hard. But a lot of us have already been down these roads and it's been very hard. So because everybody, like a lot of people that are looking at it now, you chose to put the snooze button on. Some people just didn't know. Honestly, some people didn't know. Some people are young and they're coming into adulthood and they're the ones looking at this and doing the great research. But it's like some people, it's like we heard, for all the churchy people, we heard that there would be a strong delusion that people that don't like truth, guess what? It's like an appetite. If you don't eat something and consume it, and you're watching CNN, I know people that think that they're smart. They're supposed to be the smart people. They are sitting up under CNN still. Like, CNN doesn't like set off alarm bells in their spirit, and they have no discernment that they're listening to freaking propaganda. And the worst kind. It's insulting to listen to CNN. But I know people that are still sitting up under CNN in this day and age. It's unbelievable. But the only way I can understand it is that it says in the scriptures that God would send a strong spirit of delusion. That's what's happened. When people like to consume lies and propaganda, and they just consume it every day, they grow to have an appetite for it. So when they hear somebody say something like, you know what, there's a weird group of people, you could call them whatever you want, any name fits, of they got like elite kind of ways about them. Well, they do weird things with kids, and real sick, and they do it right in front of our faces. They kind of flaunt it, and they're like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. Would you guys, QAnon? Is that a QAnon conspiracy theorist? Because CNN told me, Joy Reid told me that that's all QAnon. So they don't ever stop to look into it. Now we got Balenciaga blowing up everywhere. It can't be ignored. Now, you got to be actually so wicked to put your head in the sand and not be concerned with this Balenciaga thing. You got to be wicked at this point. And I mean it when I say that. Wicked. A lawless and godless person who is not concerned about this right now. Lawless. And that's where the strong delusion comes in, because God will just, you want lies? Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you just believe CNN is telling you the truth. I'm going to let you believe that you should send trillions of dollars over to a twerking 304 in Ukraine and make him person of the year. He'll probably be People magazine sexiest man of the year. Trust me, if it happens, you heard it first here. I bet they're going to do that. But, you know, it's like, you got people that really believe, they are on board with this stuff, all of it. And now they don't have a concept of reality, because they think that truth can just be made up. You wake up one day, you want to be a unicorn, and I got to call you a pronoun that I never heard of. You just made it up. Gup gup. My pronouns are gup gup and gape gape. Oh, really? How do I spell that? We're not playing anymore with these games. We can't do it anymore. We're not doing it anymore. We have played the game. You give people a little bit of leeway, and these people, because they are the children of Satan, they're going to take more and more. They are so abusive with forcing their reality on us. They don't care a thing about us. They think we're nothing but just cattle. Cattle. And so now you got fashion that is outright targeting children. You got this ghoul right here, Celine Dion. Let me take this. Somebody's probably in the chatmosphere yelling, take it off. We don't want to look at her neck anymore. How's my neck doing? Speaking of neck, I know Brittany Griner is out of Siberia. How do you all feel that Brittany Griner she got flued out? She's not in Siberia anymore. Now I don't know who got traded. I didn't get into it. I don't know. Who did they trade? It sounds weird. The whole talk of trading people. That doesn't go over well with my people. Talking about trading. What the hell? Trading? Okay, so I'm going to Instaghoul. Okay, I'm just going to share Instaghoul right now. And see if it works out. Thanks for hanging out. If you just joined, is okay? Has this been okay? The stream? Let me know. Is it cutting in and out like it always does? Okay, so thanks again to Paul Romano for reminding me to circle back to this ghoul right here. And now the ghoul is in the news cycle. Okay, so you have a clothing company called Nanunu. I don't know. Paul had it. You know how Paul does it. It's always so funny. Nanunu. And this company on Instaghoul, they say, if you appreciate kick-ass attitude, style, and sense of humor, you're in the right place. Nanunu, alternative unisex choice to kids fashion. So this is, as you can see, of course they have a blue check mark. Nanunu is for children. And it's supposed to be funny. You know, fun and funny. Some of it I can't even show you. I can't even show you because it looks like Lolita stuff. The little girls giving these, see, you know, they got proud of you. No. And they got underwear. Here's some like fangs. That nothing weird here, right? We're just making a big deal. We're just a bunch of right-wing crazies. This is all normal. You got a cute little girl here. What is the push with having death? Why is a child dressed in skulls? They have a thing for skulls. Why? I remember, okay, and maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just old. That might be what it is. I'm auntie. I'm too old for the new stuff. But I recall one of my cousins, you know, she's a influencer, beautiful, you know, she's got a great Instaghoul account and she's a fashion girl. And she was getting a birthday like outfit for her daughter. So we were always going downtown Philadelphia, going to those boutiques. You know, like she goes to those really fancy boutiques for kids and stuff, her and her friends. So they were gonna, you know, dress her in a tutu, like it's black tutus and stuff, and then it was gonna be tights with like skulls on it. And we were in the boutique, and she's like, "Isn't this so cute, Jennifer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's cute." You know, it's real cute. Oh my God, so cute. But you know, you don't always, you pick your battles, in other words. So you lie a little bit, and I said it was cute. I didn't think it was cute. But what is it going to matter if I stand in this place and say, you know, you shouldn't put skulls on your child because it's kind of a bad look. It's death. Why are you putting death symbols on your child? No, it's rock and roll. This is what I saw on Instaghoul. You know, the influencers, they're putting their kids in black and skulls and all this stuff, right? I'm sorry, but I come from a whatever school of thought that children should not wear black. How do you all feel about that? You have to be kind of a little bit older to start wearing black. That's how it used to be in my family. how is it in your family? So you see what I'm saying here? You see this little girl, she's got a black tutu and some kind of creature of some sort. You know, this is really weird stuff. And this is, do you see what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll cop to the fact that I'm older, but I just don't see this being, you know, even with all the people that like to talk about high vibrations, and how is this a good vibration to put on a child? Why? This is very weird. And when you look at the people that think this stuff is cute, they have a very sick and warped, like this is the typical, I guess, family. You see, they're the cool family. You know, they're friends with their kids, you know, they're all wearing monsters. Look at that. Oh, what a nice family, monsters. And then you wonder why the society is the way it is. Well, how could the kids be this way? Why would they do that? Well, what is this? Look at the skulls and the, like I said, I can't go into some of this because some of this is outright Lolita sexualizing little. This is, I'm going to misgender, but does this look like a little boy maybe? Or am I misgendering? Does that a little boy to you? Just tell me. I'm going to say he's in a tutu. Well, it says, and I'm going to show you, we're just hold on to your seats to get your 420 lined up, get it all, you know, lit up, get your little stuff. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so this ghoul right here, now this is a woman of a particular age, as Wendy Williams so aptly put it. Why would she be in a children's, you know, clothing company that says follow me into the future? What? Follow her into the future? Who's following her into? How weird. Okay, that's normal. Okay, so I don't dig this at all. I don't. Okay, so let's hear what she's talking about right here, because it's out of her own mouth. Let's hear what she's got to say. Let's see. Maybe it's not going to play. But basically, she was doing an interview talking about her clothing line with this company. She became, I guess, the face, or maybe, I don't know how this collaboration happened, but I'll show you the women that are behind this brand. But here's it was playing earlier. Let me refresh the page and see if maybe that'll work. Okay, maybe it just needed a refresh. Hold on, let me scroll. Hold on to your seats while I scroll. But yeah, all of this skulls and everything, these children, and a lot of the children don't look happy. You know, they look like they're under duress in some of these pictures. It's very hard to look at, especially if you're looking at it and you're not caught up in the propaganda that this is some form of art and, you know, creativity and free thinking and whatever. It's not funny. In the description it said it's funny. It's not. Okay, this isn't playing for some reason. But you know, I just I don't know what to say. This is very disturbing. So let me get out of this, and I want to show you the women that are behind this this brand. Let's see what's happening. How are we doing with the stream? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Are we okay with the stream? Let me know. I don't know, it did something weird. Am I still on? Is it good? Sounds good? Okay, I thought it was glitching. Okay, so let me stop the screen, and I wanted to present something else. Let's see if I could do this. 5 times 5. Thank you, B Wolf. How you doing? Thanks for joining. All right, I want to talk about the women that are behind this weird brand. All right. Let me see if hmm. All right. Hey Herschel Sanders, how you doing? It's all good. Okay, so this is the brand Nanunu. These are the people behind Nanunu, and it says, "Look, I mean, right there. What's up with that?" This is a weird thing here. So these two women, one is named Iris Adler and Tali Milchberg. So these are the women that are behind the brand. So you can see these are the cool people. You know, they're all in black. Of course, you know, you got to look cool, your black boots and black shades. And, you know, these are the people that, you know, if you go to an art gallery or something, they're like the elite. You know, they talk a lot of pseudo intellectualism. And I'm sure they talk about gender studies and whatever, all of the stuff that women's suffrage, underwater basket weaving. I went to Barnard College in New York City, and I have 2 degrees in women's studies, right? These are those people. So Nanunu creates an alternative fashion line to typical children's clothing. I'll take typical. What happened to freaking Oshkosh Bagosh? What happened to Oshkosh Bagosh? That's not okay. That's okay for children. Why do children have to wear all this cool stuff? Black tutus and skulls. This is not okay. All right? Iris and Tally, it's not okay. It's okay for you. You look really smashing. The shades and the whole thing you're doing, that's cool. But for children, not so cool. Now, I know some, you know, you're hip parents and everything. You can't tell people how to raise their kids, of course, but it's the marketing of this stuff to children. I, everybody, I just sometimes don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. So it says it goes against fashion's narrow set of beliefs and breaks free from overstimulating kid cliches. So kid, I guess Oshkosh Bagosh would be a narrow set of fashion and a cliche. By introducing children to the wonderful mystery of minimalism. So minimalism is a mystery that kids need to learn about. Interesting. The way they word this stuff, they think this is really okay. This is a mental illness right here. So Nanunu lets kids shine at every stage with a kick-ass cocktail of attitude. Why do you have to use this language when we're talking about children? This doesn't have a very young and childlike, innocent feeling to it. This copy that I'm reading, it feels very dark. Why cocktails and attitude? And it says, and a big sense of humor. They think this stuff is funny. And I've called out Capri Sun. I shared that with you all recently. I've called out Capri Sun over this very thing where they are targeting children with a children's drink, and then they're showing like a romance novel, like a Fabio kind of guy doing sexualized things in the ad. And I wrote to the people. I let them know. I put it on social media. I shared it out to other people, encouraging you all to also make your voice known that this is not funny. This is not funny. And the fact that they say funny, we're clearly dealing with a very satanic group of people. And because they are evil, they don't have any beauty. Their creativity is degenerate. It's low vibrational. And it's ugly. It's ugly. And it's dark, and it's death. And that's not what children, that's not what you do. When you think of children, you think of more whimsical, very light and bright and vibrant, not ugly. Yeah, I used to like to wear the ugly clothes and be in all black all the time. And my mother's like, what the hell? I like ugly shoes. I wear Birkenstocks. But that's me. But for children, when I was growing up, I was the kid with the ruffled socks and, patent leather shoes and everything. Looking like, child of age appropriate, innocent, not sexualized. So you have this, it's supposed to be a big sense of humor. I guess it is, because it's like the joke is on us. I really think that they laugh behind closed doors that we just let our children get ravaged by them. It's too easy for them. They have taken over the culture fully. There is not 1 ounce of goodness in this culture that you can say when you look at the culture. I'm not talking about if you're like Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm and you live like an Amish person. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the pervasive culture. It is degenerate. It is not one ounce of goodness to it that comes out of this culture. And we export this darkness all over the world. I was about to say the globe. Sorry. No, I didn't mean it. I would have had to retract it. I didn't mean to say globe. I got to get it out of my head. Okay, so the Nanunu image conveys an air of detachment. We're talking about children. What the hell? Detachment, an air of detachment? It is never cute or sweet, but always ready for the challenge. This is like rebellion. girls that don't want to be cute anymore. They want to look hard. They want to wear all black and skulls, not pink. No, don't misgender us and make us act. I don't know why we like pink for girls. We could talk about that at another time, but we could still use other colors, huh? Light pastel colors. Okay. Maybe some primary colors, but this is not going to do. The brand operates in a way where instead of defining differences, it dissolves them, blurring out any boundaries and making divisions completely insignificant. Oh yeah, these girls, these ladies right here, I know that they went to where? they might have attended Sarah Lawrence. I'm getting a little bit of what is that school in Atlanta? Getting those vibes. I'm getting those Barnard College, Sarah Lawrence. If they were a little melanated, I would say Spelman College. I'm getting, what's the one in Atlanta? They got another one of these kind of places. The Seven Sisters. What's the one in Philly? I should know this, on the main line. This is giving me those vibes. What the heck? Yeah, these women, oh yeah. Okay. 2 women invented this world. Yeah. Yep. I could already see the classes in college right now, led completely by their intuition. So if this is your intuition, ladies, Iris and Tali, wow. Co-owners and designers Iris Adler and Tali Milchberg created children's clothing collections that broke stereotypes and dodged acceptable norms. I bet if I looked on the bookshelf, what kind of books would we see on Iris and Tali's bookshelf? I think we would see a little Mein Kampf, maybe a little bit of Rules for Radicals. What kind of books do you think would be on their bookshelves? I'm detecting Rules for Radicals. Yeah. Okay, so they created children's clothing. Oh, I already read that. Their need for a basic DNA and a unisex offering in kids' fashion created a global trend that is now an inspiration worldwide. So they metastasize their cancer all over the flat world. Iris and Tali. It's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. All right. Driven, and you notice even the way the person wrote this, they didn't start the next sentence with a capital letter. So these are real. Oh, you're so edgy, Iris and Tali. Look at you. Look at your copy on your website. You're so, oh, look at you changing the world with ugly fashions for kids. Wow. So stunning and brave, you two. Driven by, now, this is on their own website, so I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. It's right here. Driven by an agenda. Haven't we been saying this? When we say agenda, all of a sudden we are hateful. All of a sudden we are phobic and we're misgendering people. We're anti-Semitic. We're everything. Racist. We're Trump supporter, MAGA, maggots, right? So how is it that this is okay? That they are saying right here that they are driven by an agenda that defies the traditional dichotomy of boy-girl clothing. There you go. So when we say they're after the children, who else said that they were after children? It was somebody else that said they were after children. Who else? You could put it in chat atmosphere. So they are defying the dichotomy of boy-girl clothing, and they say that they are driven by an agenda. Iris and Tali showed that in the world of real individuals, not everything is so black and white. For Nanunu, what really matters is the freedom of individuality and creativity, especially at a tender age. It's right here, right here. This fighter leadership, so these are activists, okay? These women came out of some Ivy League college, and they were indoctrinated with this stuff, that they are coming out to disrupt culture with agendas. And it says it right here, fighters. They are fighters. So that tells me they are activists and leaders. They get pushed right up into leadership. They got a whole company right here. The backing of probably some angel investors that just drop probably tons of money on them. Or they either come from money, right? They might have some rich uncles that footed the, who knows? But I know having a fashion line, you have to have some major money behind you. And especially they're young. These are young women. All right, so tender age. This fighter leadership brought about something disruptive in fashion. I just said that. Now, I didn't pre-read this, but it's right there, disruption. Let me check in and see if we're still good. Are we, Girl Code, are you here? Hey, Girl Code, hey, sis. Hey, are we good? You hear me okay? Welcome, sissy. Love you. So, okay, so it says right here that, again, where was I? Disruptive in fashion, which erased traditional definitions. This is a subversion of our culture. We have been subverted, and we were warned about this back in the 70s. We were warned about this. We didn't take heed to it. And look at where we are now. So, yeah. They erased traditional definitions and gave young people the freedom to choose who they are. Today, 10 years later, the eccentric and unconventional style of Nanunu has become a natural element in children's fashion everywhere. Iris and Tali created a revolution. Nanunu dresses the children of the future, enabling them to bring out their inner essence, highlighting their creativity, helping them fight injustice, and letting them connect to their own personal creativity so they can bloom forth in a world where they are the ones that determine its limits. Nanunu offers children the space and time that lets them bring the future. Now, that's a weird thing to say, that this is encouraging children's creativity, to put them in a bunch of ugly black clothes with skulls and death on it. That doesn't scream creativity. If you were in highlighting children's creativity, you would let them color the clothes themselves. Look at the boutique. Look, oh, I bet they have some really cool like trance music playing. When you walk in, you get ignored because they already assume that you're trash anyway. So can't you imagine going in the Nanunu boutique and getting ignored by one of these elitists? And they got the trance music playing. Trance. I didn't mean trans, but trance. You know what I'm talking about, not trans music. Trance music, okay? Don't come at me, people. Don't do it. I'm not playing that game. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to look for, before I end the stream, because that was pretty much like what I wanted to cover, because, like, dude, this is so crazy. Like, I can imagine. I I just can't. This is like a level of cray cray that is it's just it's a new level of cray cray. And how you doing tonight? Let's see what's Juan saying. How do people take these kind of people serious? Exactly. I don't know, but they are now the voice of our culture. You know, a lot of us, we've been sat down, you know. We've been a lot of, we haven't occupied. We haven't been on the earth, a lot of us. You know, when I was, railing on the church, how can the church even say anything? They haven't been the salt of this earth, of this land. And what are they saying what are they doing to put a standard up so that we protect children? Do half of the parishioners and people in the pews, do they even know that this is happening? Are they aware of these issues? Probably not. They're too busy worried about, being scared about the flu, obsessed about all this stuff. So I'm just at a point where I really don't know anymore. I don't know. Help me, everybody. Help me with some suggestions. What do we do? I mean, Nanunu, I never knew about this clothing line. I mean, until Paul was talking about it. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't think we were going to be here. I didn't know it. I had no idea. I'm going to put in Celine Dion and this. I want you to see this ad because, right now, like I said, she's getting a lot of sympathy because she's come out and talked about her illness that she's dealing with right now. So she's dealing with something. Now, I guess it's going to take the attention off of, like, why is this woman? Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, here it is. I'm going to share something in a minute. I just want you to hear, because this is out of Celine Dion's own mouth. And okay, just am I still on? Can you all still hear me? Something got goofed up with the stream. I'm still on. Okay, good. Something's weird. Okay. Hey, girl code. Excuse me, I know I should have had this set up, but something happened with my windows. They're all like all over the place, but I want to present this one right here so you can hear it with your own. Hey, Linda, thank you. Hear it with your own ears. We can just listen to what this is what they're into. Hang on.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm Celine Dion. Our children, they are not really our children, as we are all.
Little
Just links in a never-ending chain that is life. They are everything. They are everything. But in reality, fraction of their universe. We miss the past. They tomorrow. Dream of tomorrow. We may thrust them but the core only dares to choose. They call security. I mean, oh, come on, I'm Celine Dion. I'm not spending the night in jail. Holy shit.
Relax, easy. I'm Celine Dion. Yeah, girl, and I'm Beyonce. I'm calling my agent.
So, I don't know, people. That is the wording that she's saying that children are not ours. And that's how we've always heard that the Marxists, the socialists, the communists, the children are not yours, they belong to the state. As we're going to learn law
Celine
together.
Dion was groomed by her own husband. She was just 12 years old when a nearly 40-year-old man entered her life. He was supposed to be
Sloan.
her manager,
I love Sloan.
but their relationship crossed boundaries. When Celine's mother found
out,
she tried to stop it. But at this point, this man had Celine under his spell. So let's get into it.
Maybe it stopped.
I want to talk to you guys about Celine Dion and the disturbing story of how she was groomed at the age of 12. And of course, it's a classic Hollywood story because her manager was the one who took advantage of her and successfully
everybody. I'm having.
Where he ended up becoming her husband.
I don't know why I can't
get
about
this Celine's late husband, Renee, I want to remind you guys of what grooming is. Grooming is defined as the action by a criminal of preparing a child for a meeting with the intention of committing a sexual offense. We've talked about grooming before on this channel and in different situations, and there seems to be a theme in Hollywood behind the scenes or with executives or producers or managers where they end up taking advantage of their talent. His name was Renee, and he was a Canadian musical producer, talent manager, and singer. He's definitely.
Thank you, Sloan, but I don't know why that's happening. Sloan, nonetheless. Okay, so I guess Sloan was letting us know that, yeah, she was groomed. So this stuff really, like, it carries over. And don't get my channel straight. I know I didn't know how to turn it off, but Sloan, at least he told us something about her. So anyway, everybody, that was right out of her mouth, and I don't know. I don't know what the answers are for this, because it's gone pretty far where they're outright telling us that they're doing this. They had even a choir out of San Francisco, if you remember that, last year. They were singing songs about, yes, we're after the children. They were and they thought that was funny. You know, it was like some men's choir. And it's like, wow, really? It's pretty obvious. And we are being seen as hateful. We are being seen as like not compassionate towards people that have a different way of looking at things, and they look at children differently. But a lot of this, we are with learning law, you know, like I said, I want us to learn this law thing together. And I'm working on how I'm going to do it, because even though I'm streaming from this channel, I am still locked out of the channel. So I'm thinking I would like to maybe do my, not the other channel, Negrescence, but the other I had to get a lot of channels, because back in, you remember, I lost channels. So I kept creating a new email, and then a new channel comes with it. And so it's a big thing. I'm still working this out. I'm actually contacting Google, and maybe it'll work out this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. But if not, I would like to at least be on a channel where I can work and comment and things like that from the channel. So I would like us to do like a sort of law school, okay, where we learned common law together. And I see this as being an arc of protection that we repatriate and recover from this very traumatic and abusive relationship in this, you know, this culture. And learning how to reclassify yourself, how you become upright and lawful, and you know, you correct your status, things like that. I want to talk about that, and I want to like have it be a fun way of like, we're going to have like law school. And I thought, I wrote it down as like, wait a minute. I wrote it down as, where was that? Therapeutic or medicinal law school. Medicinal law school. That's what we can call it. Medicinal law school. Or therapeutic law college or something. We can have fun with it. And we can treat it as we're going to law school. And we're going to really get into the nitty gritty of learning this law. You like the idea, Sissy? Good. Like, you could teach at our law school, because you were doing this stuff, but now it's time to really, I believe it's really time to learn this law and to reclassify ourselves, to correct our statuses, to know how to really know how to apply it and not be afraid, because they have put fear in a lot of us that we haven't wanted to do this, because you know, you hear stories. If you remember the woman in Baltimore, like the DC area, do you remember that young woman? Her name was Kareen. Do you all remember the story of Kareen? She was in the DC area and she was doing this thing where she was getting her status, like she was, the whole traveling in the car without the license, and she knew how to speak, and she was going to court, and she was putting paperwork in, and she was dating a guy who I think they were in a group, and they were all like talking about these things, but she, young woman, she was about that life, okay? She wasn't just talking it, she was really walking, okay? She was really doing it. She was about that life. And the cops started to harass her, remember? Oh my goodness, hello Manon Mason Nua. I'll mess it up. But Manon, did I say that right? Manon? Hello. Where are you joining from? Let's give Manon a nice welcome. You're a new name in the chatmosphere. And DeWolf, you're here. Greetings, DeWolf. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, Chris, I haven't seen you in a while. Chris, how you doing? Chris is here. What? You're in, Christine? You like that idea? Okay, good. So we can do it like law school. Whoever thought we were going to go to law school together, okay? So you like it too, Alan? Oh my God, I love this. You love it? You like it? You like it, Sean? You like it, Sean? It's very important to know. And what I was saying about Kareen, she was being stopped and harassed as she was getting her sovereignty, you could say. And she had a real edge to her. She was like, you want to talk about a soldier? She was not afraid. And she would film when the cops would stop her and harass her. And it turned into this thing where she was in her apartment, and they came to her apartment. They came inside her apartment, and you know what? I'm going to talk about her. We're going to do a deep dive on Kareen. I want to talk about her, okay? Because that story was like very upsetting at the time, because it was like she got, pow-powed in her own apartment, and her child even got hit by a bullet, and it was sad. It was just a real sad thing. And I think these things are, they will shut you down, and you're like afraid because, the tyranny of these, this government out of control. And, a story like that might have made people shy away from doing this. But this is the age of boldness. We have to be courageous. And we have to know that this, to me, I see this as part of the arc. This is the way out. And because it lines up with God's law, that if you do not believe in God, this is going to be tough, because it leads to God. This nation was built on God's law, the supreme law, the natural organic law. So Black's Law, yes. I have, for anybody that hasn't purchased these actual physical books, which I want to get the physical law books, but in the meantime, there is a Black's Law online, so you can look up this stuff online. I don't know the best editions. I'll look into that, but some of the things are better if you have older copies, of course, because they've changed these things. But we will go from Black's Law Dictionary, also Bouvier. Somebody said Bouvier Law Dictionary. That's online also. And the dictionaries from like the Noah Webster from the 1800s, you can get that stuff online. So I will provide links, and I'm planning on doing a first class where we kind of go to class together, and we just start breaking down this common law and learning how to become organic alive, on the land, standing upright on the land, right? And I identify as an heiress, okay? That's what I identify as. So, yeah, I'll think of my pronouns, but I do. I identify as an heiress, and I would hope you do too. Oh, you're in Quebec. Wow, you live in a village in Quebec. Welcome. I know it's beautiful up in Quebec. We would love to come and visit you when everything simmers down, okay? We would love to come up there. I have a friend up in Quebec, actually. One of my good friends I grew up with. I owe him a visit. Hello, Camilla. Welcome. Thanks for coming by. So I will keep you posted if that's right, PH Joy. Welcome. Supreme Law. That's right. You have it, Juan? Oh. I'm looking forward to getting some actual books. I'm a nerd. I love books. You do too? Let's see. Sean has the 6th and 7th edition. So those are the best editions. Let me write that down. 6th and 7th edition of Blacks. Okay, so let me look it up and see if I could get the 6th and 7th. And any other suggestions, just let me know. But we'll go from, you don't have to have the book right away, but if you order your book or you already have them, that'd be a great thing. And eventually, that's her name. Thank you, Corinne Gaines. There you go. I'm gonna do a thing on her, maybe tomorrow. But you know what? I have to start. If I don't get into my channel, I'm going to have to ask you. I hate to ask you to do this again. You know, they say don't follow a hippie to the second location. But listen, I got another channel we can hang out on, and I can get in the back studio of that channel. And that could be our law school. Okay. This is the school. We've graduated already over on this channel. But I'm still trying to work it out where I get in the doggone channel. But in the meantime, in between time, we can go over to the other channel and use that classroom as our law school. Okay. And we're gonna put the law down. We're gonna learn the law. Get out of my courthouse, Celine Dion. Get out of this courtroom with these ugly children's clothes. We're gonna find out about all this stuff that they're doing, all the stuff they're breaking. They're in trouble. These people are in big trouble. And the more we learn law, we can write up. I love to write stuff up. We can write up our own pleadings. Can you imagine me knowing a little bit of law? They should have never let me learn law. I'll be writing up pleadings. You're gonna be like, Jennifer, cool it, okay? That was 30 pleadings, and you did you condemned people. What? Give me a chance, right? But Corinne Gaines, I definitely want to talk about her. I've been wanting to do something on Corinne Gaines because I don't want to miss her story. It's something there. I believe looking into her story now is going to really, it'll click in a different way. Joseph, hey Joseph, the Organic Alliance of God's Children. Oh, I love that. Yes, Joseph. Herschel. I would live to get away from, property tax. We don't own our land. We lease it from the county. And I want to get into definitely learning about land. So that's going to be a big part of our law school. We're going to learn about land, air, sea, what's under the land. We did a story over on Negrescence of the young woman who she inherited land that had not just minerals, but oil. So some of you may have land that has all kinds of resources. So we need to learn, what do you do if you learn that you have land, you have heirs land, and it's already stuff on your land? You know, let's take scenarios like that and just talk them through and learn about these issues. And, you know, in real time scenarios, it would be interesting. You love that? More than food. I love it, Groco. Yes. Have no fear, Desi said. That's right. We cannot have that fear thing. That's how they've been able to do this to us for so long, is we don't know, and then we don't have that courage to stand up. We have to stand up on the land. We're lost out at sea, dead. You said, I remember seeing, oh, wait, let me see. I remember seeing this commercial on TV in the summer of 2018 in Quebec. What commercial was that? This will be great. You have to join us. We follow hippies, Johnny. You're going to follow this hippie to a second location. I'll let you know. Like, I'll probably do a stream on this main channel. And I know you're asking, how can you stream on the channel? The only reason I can do it is that it was already saved in StreamYard. That's the only way I could even stream. Oh, it's so crazy. But yeah, we can do this whole law school over on the other channel. That's right. Law, land, air, and water. We're going to, land patent, mineral rights. How come I couldn't get mineral rights? Yes. We're going to get this. We're going to get this down pat. We're going to know how to roll this law off of our lips. Like, that's right. They feed off of fear. That's right. We're not going to give them any more food to feed off of. So, yeah. Wow. Manon. A lot of symbolism on Quebec TV channels, in the past 4 years, but way more during the pandemic, really. We know you're going through a lot up there in Canada. Canada is such a beautiful part of the Americas because all this land is all continuous, all of these American lands. So we're going to learn about this stuff. It's going to be fun. We're going to make it fun, okay? That's right, Juan says, I fear no one. We have to get to that point. So we're going to do some medicinal law school. Or which do you like? Therapeutic law college, medicinal law school. You know me with all I like to think of the creativity. I'm already thinking ahead of myself, okay? So bring your thinking caps, bring your notes. We're going to get nerdy. We're going to get into the law. We're not breaking the law. We're getting repatriated. We are repatriating, and we're going to stand upright on the land, alive, and we're going to be in an ark of protection, right? God has a lot of wonderful things planned for those who love him. Gotta love him. These are the days to repatriate. I know issues, we got to work out church hurt and things like that, but just know that this is the time that we can encourage each other, that we could work with each other. If you feel weak in this way, your relationship to God and just getting to know him again, we can encourage each other at this time. And this is a process of growth. This is another level of growth that we can do this together. It's the time. You feel it. Don't you feel it? It's like the more we go into this clown world and we watch this system just devolve, is swirling down the drain, then we can, as we're seeing it swirl down the drain, we can start to stand upright and get into the ark. It's time to enter the ark, everybody. It's time. It's time to move differently, to become not just sovereign, but to become heirs, to really work and move that way. Like I said, I identify as an heiress. I keep telling myself this because I know it may sound crazy to other people, but this was always in the scriptures. It says you are an heir of salvation. So this is not like delusional thinking, but I have to get myself to believe it. I have to get it from my head to my heart and really move that way, because that's where we're going. Not everybody's going. Like Nipsey said, your circle needs to get small because everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. Okay? And it's going to be hard. We're going to hold each other's hands because everybody can't go. Okay? Sorry, I didn't make the rules. People made their choices. This is free will. So it's going to be a tough reality to begin to wake up to, because we have to wake up to that one too. Because we didn't know that they were really going to get away with those Georgia Guidestone goals. It's starting to look like, yeah, they're getting away with that. And that's hard. That's hard. That's a hard one right there. So things are going to change. Things are going to change around here. And we got to get ourselves prepared. So we'll do it together. Flat Earth Law School. Linda, that's awesome. That would make great t-shirts. I love that. That's so funny. Why is that making me laugh? Flat Earth Law School. Oh gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I'll keep you posted. And okay, so what I'll do, okay, let me just the housekeeping of it all, okay, the logistics. I have to work this out. Okay, so you're probably not subscribed to my other channel. I know I'm asking a lot here. I know I'm asking a lot. Just help me right now. Help me. So tomorrow I'm thinking, if we do our first law class, or we might do the Corinne Gaines to kick it off. Maybe that might be nice. Kick it off with a whole little thing on Corinne Gaines, and maybe we could talk about an aspect of the law and kind of find out what happened with her situation. Like, how could that have been done differently? Whatever, we can look into it. But I'll set it up as a live stream on this channel, as a little short, like, come over here, here's the link to that channel, because, okay, if you want, let's just do it now. Okay, so the other channel, YouTube has something called handles now. So if you do youtube.com/ and then you do an @ it's Jennifer, it's my whole name. It's the long, sorry. Go over if you can. I'm just asking. So you could already be there already, because I will have to probably start working with that channel. Building that channel up. Okay, so this would be the channel. If you head over there, I just stream copies over there. I don't really do much on that channel, but it is available, and I can get into the back office, the studio. So if you want to go head over there and just subscribe, that's all. And if you want to hit the notification, it's just, my handle is @JennyEason Washington. And that is where I will do the law school over there. The crazy law school. Can you imagine? We're going to learn law together. Look out. Look out, you lizards. We're learning the law together. Hey, Linda says subscribes. That's how I had to trick you to subscribe to my back channel. Thank you, Linda. So, okay, good. So if you're going to go ahead and subscribe, we can get our stuff cracking, okay? Get it going on. And I've been on here 2 hours talking like a crazy person, so I need to go eat some food because I'll be looking like Celine Dion all through the neck, okay? I'm not trying to look like Celine. I know my neck is getting skinny. I'll be wearing scarves, you know, and turtlenecks. No, but I'm going to go eat some spaghetti, okay? And I have to remind myself to eat. I told you all that, right? It's that whole, and that's another thing. This whole lifestyle of intermittent fasting, it is the move, y'all. It's the move. And it gets you into, like I told you, you don't require, you're not always thinking about food. You have to actually say, you know what, I need to eat. I need to eat. So I'm going to go eat some spaghettis, and I'll be around. Ann said Skeletor. I got to watch it. I can't be talking about nobody, Ann, looking like Skeletor. I be looking at myself sometimes. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So I want to make, you guys, I want to make this thing called a hummingbird cake. Have you all heard of a hummingbird cake? I want to make one. And I want to make the cream cheese icing on it. Oh. So I think I'm going to make one maybe this weekend, a hummingbird cake. I'll let you all know about it. It's one of my favorites. Or maybe I'll make a carrot cake. Do you all know about hummingbird cakes? So yummy. So I might do that. Thank you, sis. See, she said, you look marvelous. Remember that guy? I loved him. What was his name? Ricardo, somebody? He would always say, you look marvelous, darling. You look marvelous. I loved him. He used to be on like, what was it? Something island. What was that island they would go to? And he would say, the plane. I think he would be on that show all the time. Fantasy Island. Billy Crystal would play him. Oh my God. Now, Billy Crystal, that's a blast from the past. He was actually funny. I used to really giggle snort with Billy Crystal. He would do an impression of that guy. You look marvelous. And you know who you are. You know who you are. You look marvelous. Oh my gosh. Karen's here. Ricardo. That's funny. Fantasy Island. That's kind of creepy now when you think about it. Fantasy Island doesn't have a good like ring to it. Epstein messed everything up. I don't know. These islands. I don't know. Fantasy Island, kind of creepy. Welcome, sis. Karen. Karen's been up to some fun stuff. I got to catch up with you, sis. Thank you. There you go. It looks better while you wrote it. Thank you. Okay, so I could be on here forever, but I'm going to cut this stream, go eat some spaghetti, think about how I can make this hummingbird cake. Or if you tell me I should make a carrot cake, which one should I do? Carrot cake or hummingbird cake? Whatever I do, it's going to be the delicious cream cheese icing. That's my favorite. Icing is my favorite. If I've never told you this before. I've never done the icing shots though. Remember they were doing that? Me and my daughter would go to Sprinkles when we lived in LA and she would get icing shots. Oh my God. I can't imagine me on icing shots. I would be such a spaz. But I love cream cheese icing. I love all kinds of icing. But it has to be high quality. You know, I'm like a food organic. It has to be like, gosh, okay? So clean. No high fructose corn syrups or nothing. You like hummingbird cake, Alan? You know about it? The hummingbird cake is the sweetest cake ever. Really? You think it is? So should I do that one or do the carrot cake? Either way, I just want icing. I just want an excuse to eat icing. You know, sometimes, oh, okay, before I go, I'm one more admission. You know, growing up in Philadelphia, we had like the best bakeries, you know, German bakeries and Italian bakeries. And my mother would always get me snacks, especially after church. We would go and get all the nice cookies, the ones with the little cherry in the middle. I love those little swirly cookies, and the sprinkles. We call them jimmies in Philadelphia. We don't call them sprinkles. We call them jimmies. Okay, just know that. A real Philly John calls them jimmies. So, yeah, I would sometimes, when I became an adult, I would go to the bakery because I would have like a craving for authentic birthday cake. Okay, tell me if you've ever done this, okay? And you would understand why it's a good thing I don't go living on my cravings anymore. Because I have a mean sweet tooth. Can you imagine wanting to have the birthday cake so bad that I would just go and buy a birthday cake sometimes and just eat off of it, like for a month or something? Or as long as not a month, it doesn't stay fresh. But have you all ever done that? Or was that just me being weird? You all are saying carrot cake. So should I do carrot cake? Gingerbread. Oh my gosh, that would be good. Hummingbird cake. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, right. See, that's why I want it, because I love pineapple too. Any excuse to eat pineapple. You've said it. That's it. Alan already made my mind up, because pineapple I had to see. All right, so I'm going to head out. I know you guys are like, she said she was going to end the stream, but she's still talking like a crazy woman. Wedding cake. You are my people. Nancy, wedding cake is my favorite. I want a wedding cake. I want to eat a wedding cake right now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I agree. Wedding cakes with that, oh, that frosting. Ah, love it. Okay, I'm going now. Thanks for joining. Everybody, I will be back to hang out with you. Like I said, we're going to start our law school up. Yes, we are. And we're gonna learn this law. Okay, so have a good one. I need to eat. Keep saying that. Love you. Bye-bye. Take care, all right?